tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I worked with a manager who walked into a performance review expecting a normal discussion, but halfway through the meeting, her employee said something that completely threw her off. A comment she didn't expect, a tone she wasn't prepared for, and in her words, I felt like my brain left the room and my emotions took the chair. She couldn't think clearly, she couldn't listen fully, she wasn't present anymore, she was triggered. At that moment, changed the entire direction of the conversation. You know what she told me afterwards? I wasn't upset because of what he said, I was upset because I lost my presence. That sentence stayed with me because emotional maturity isn't just about managing emotions, it's about staying fully present while those emotions are happening. Hi everyone, I'm Salma, career and leadership coach, and today I want to talk to you about the skill that instantly raises your leadership presence, authority, respect in any workplace. Emotional maturity and its hidden partner, maintaining presence. Let's dive in. People often think emotional maturity means feeling nothing. No reaction, no discomfort, just perfect calm. But emotional maturity isn't about avoiding emotions, it's about being able to stay with your emotions without drowning in them. And this is where presence comes in. Presence means you remain grounded, attentive, and aware, even when the situation is uncomfortable, surprising, or emotionally charging. It's the opposite of spacing out, spiraling in your head, or mentally running away. Presence is listening without preparing a defense, pausing without panicking, responding instead of reacting, staying in the conversation instead of escaping to your thoughts, holding your center even when someone else loses theirs. And when you can do that, people immediately feel your maturity without saying a single word. Think of emotional maturity as a house. Presence is a foundation. Without presence, emotions take control. Your brain jumps ahead, your body reacts automatically, your nervous system takes over the meeting. But when you're present, you actually notice your emotions before acting on it. Presence gives you the microsecond of awareness that says, I'm getting defensive. I'm feeling anxious. This comment is triggering me. And once you notice the emotion, you regain the ability to regulate it. This is why the most emotionally mature people feel calm, grounded, and in control. Not because they have fewer emotions, but because they have more awareness inside the emotion. Let me take you back to the manager from the beginning. The next month, she had to do another performance conversation. She was nervous because same employee, same tension, same potential triggers. But this time she practiced one simple thing, maintaining presence. Before the meeting, she told herself, I'm going to stay aware of what I feel and stay in the moment with him, not in the story in my head. So the conversation started, and yes, he made a comment that normally would have triggered her. She felt the reaction rising, but instead of losing herself, she stayed present. She noted the emotion, took a breath, softened her shoulders, and said calmly, Tell me more about why do you feel that way? And that one moment shifted the entire dynamic. The employee softened, she stayed grounded, and they ended up having the most constructive conversation they've ever had. Presence didn't just improve her emotional maturity, it changed her leadership energy. So, what emotional maturity looks like at work? Let's make this practical. Here's what emotional maturity is supported by presence looks like in real time. You hear a critic and you don't rush to defend yourself. Someone's tone gets sharp and you don't immediately match it. A tough conversation happens and you remain centered instead of collapsing inside. You notice your emotional triggers, but they don't hijack the moment. You stay curious instead of reactive. And most importantly, people feel safe around you. because people follow the person who can stay present while everyone else gets swept away. Here are small but powerful habits that you can start today. First, micro pauses. When something triggers you, take one conscious breath. It interrupts the emotional autopilot and gives you access to clarity. 2. Sensory grounding. Notice something in the moment, the temperature, the chair, your feet on the ground. This brings your mind back from the story into the present. And number 3, curious listening. When you feel defensive, ask a question. Curiosity pulls you back into presence and reduces emotional charge. These aren't just communication tricks, they are leadership skills. Here's the truth: presence is emotional maturity in action. What makes you the calmest person in the room, the most grounded, the most respected, not because you don't feel emotions, but because you don't abandon yourself when emotions appear. If you want to elevate your leadership, your impact, and your career, start by mastering presence. It's the doorway to emotional maturity, and emotional maturity is the quality that people trust instantly. If this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs it, and don't forget to subscribe for more leadership and career insights. Thank you, and see you next video.